Dan, what kind of impact could this have on the entire sport of college hoops?
Well, a huge one. It could. Now, it could have an impact on the NCAA tournament, and it could have the impact on Champ Week. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of current players named in this. So if the NCAA decides, and they have done this in other cases, that pending investigation or pending appeal, you are immediately ineligible, it could have a huge impact right now. They have done that in the past. Most compliance offices do this. Most compliance offices, when they hear of an extra benefit and can confirm it, now that's the key, can they confirm it? An extra benefit, they immediately deem the student athlete ineligible. Now, they can get him back eligible, and there are ways, like you pay the loan back, you pay something back, you pay the meals back, whatever it is. You know, I think there's a limit of $200 that you can get, maybe for free. But anyway, so it could have a huge impact starting today, really, if the NCAA finds it credible, finds enough evidence and says, look, we're going to deem you ineligible. Now, moving forward, I think it could have a huge impact on the careers of a lot of coaches, because my guess is this isn't the only report that's going to come out. There will be more reports. There will be more implications, I'm guessing, of more people. Because this is an ongoing investigation. And the people involved in being arrested now, and people are saying left and right that Andy Miller and his people are talking, they're giving up this information, which is clear. This could have wide implications long-term and short-term. It could be as early as today, I would think.
Yeah, Dan, you don't want to paint an entire sport with a broad brush, but we go to the shoe scandal we had this offseason of the FBI and how many programs that brought down, and now this. I wonder if you can give me a broad range of just the state of college basketball when it seems that there seems to be something coming up each and every time that gives the sport a black eye.
Well, if I were a fan, I would think that. But remember, there's 354 teams in college basketball, and you're looking at, unfortunately, the blue bloods. You know, you're looking at, what do you see on that list? You see Michigan State, you see Kentucky, you see Duke, you see North Carolina players. So the perception certainly has to be that, man, this is a dirty sport. Now, I do know this. I know there are a ton of coaches that have reached out to me excited about this, that don't cheat, that don't do things in any way other than upright. And they're excited because they think that college basketball could get back to a level playing field. Let's be honest. Playing field isn't level. It's a little like steroids in baseball. You know, kid in AA decides he's not going to do steroids. Kid who's his competition does. Next thing you know, he's in the majors, and the kid who does the right thing ends up selling insurance somewhere. Same thing in basketball. We've seen so many programs benefit from either relationships with people like Andy Miller or get kids based on Andy Miller. So and he's not the only guy. He just happens to be the guy named in these reports. So I think there are a lot of people within college basketball, particularly coaches that do things right, that are very excited that this is going to get exposed and it can level the playing field.
We are 16 days away from Selection Sunday. In this report, at least 25 players are linked to taking some of these benefits, including Miles Bridges of Michigan State, Alabama's Colin Sexton, and Duke's Wendell Carter. So when you talk about this window right now, as we are less than 3 weeks away from the tournament, what should the NCAA do right now in your mind?
Well, they have to investigate, and I think they have to investigate quickly. And I think that this is not something that just popped today, and the NCAA, you know, hasn't been on this since the FBI thing. I think if you go by history, at least the history that I know, I don't know everybody's history. Cases are decided differently. But if you go by history, what they have normally done, if they find it credible, is immediately name the individual that took an extra benefit ineligible. Now, you know, you mentioned Miles Bridges. I think there's something like a $400 payment. Sometimes they'll allow, you know, you pay this back, we'll restore your eligibility. You know, I don't know that that's the only thing, and I don't know that that's what the NCAA will do in this case. They have an out. Their out would be, hey, look, it's a FBI investigation. You know, we're going to wait. We're going to see. They could do that if they want to. But what they have done in the past is declare people ineligible if they deem it credible, and then basically say, okay, you're not getting your eligibility back, or here's how you can. So, again, as I said earlier, this is something that for this year's tournaments, not only tournament in the NCAA, but Champ Week, that kind of thing, and actually for this weekend's games, this could have an immediate impact if, now I say this if, the NCAA deems this credible and they start making some of the players' name, the 20-some players, and they're superstars. They're stars in the game. They can make them ineligible immediately.